I've spent years recommending the Motorola Razr over the Galaxy Z Flip devices, and after getting some hands-on time with the Galaxy Z Flip 8, that conviction is stronger than ever, despite the changes that Samsung has made this year. Let's bring the camera around and talk about it. And we're back. I've got my Galaxy Z Flip 7 unit here as a stand-in. Still undecided whether I'm going to pick up a Z Flip 8 for the channel, but I have had a couple hours hands-on with the device. And it is unfair to say that Samsung did nothing with the Galaxy Z Flip 8. You do have a new chipset. You got the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for those of you that felt you didn't have enough power in your clamshell foldable. It is also thinner and lighter. And don't dismiss that, because when you're talking about these smaller form factor phones, it's about style, it's about portability, and the 6.1 millimeter thickness on the new Z Flip 8 makes a difference. When you hold these devices side by side, you can absolutely feel that, and this phone had to be thinner. And it has a pressure on it to be thinner because of the flat edges. And I've said this a while about devices. Devices and phones with flat edges feel thicker than they are. So it absolutely needed a little bit of trimming there, and Samsung's done a good job improving the feel of the hand. And even though it's a few grams and less than a millimeter, you hold those two devices in either hand and you're going to feel the difference. So I like what Samsung has done there. Also, the cover screen experience is improved. Samsung's done a decent job. We're not all the way there, but at least you don't need multi-star to resize apps and aspect ratios and stuff like that. And it does work with the apps in labs. So while you can't boot up all your favorites right away out of the box, which I still think is disappointing, One UI 9 is going to bring some meaningful improvements to the cover display experience on your Z Flip 8. But let's bring in our friend. The Motorola Razr Ultra 2026 is still the phone that I want in my pocket. And let's start with the backs of these devices. Just take a look. Samsung's done a better job with more fun colors, and I get that, but it's just, you look at these two devices and you think, why I buy a clamshell foldable? You think that how Motorola's leaning into lifestyle branding on these phones, making them fun and interesting form factors to have around in your pocket, conversation pieces whenever I bring them out. Not a lot to talk about over here. Yes, it's sturdy. Yes, it's an excellent device. Yes, Samsung does a wonderful job and this hinge is great and the software experience and everything on there and the performance, everything's fantastic. But it just looks so industrial that it lacks a little bit of the something that makes the Motorola Razr so impressive. And it's not like the Motorola Razr is a complete potato otherwise, besides just the looks of the device. This is a fantastic experience from front to back. I love the design, like we talked about. Rounded frame helps. You could have a little thicker device, you could have a heavier device, but it just feels better and slicker in the hand. Battery, significantly better on the Razr Ultra. You have a 5,000 milliamp hour silicon carbon cell over here with fast 68 watt wired charging, whereas you're still suffering over here with a 43 milliamp hour battery. A little bit of silicon carbon, right? We don't know the percentage, that Samsung hasn't given us that, but there's a little sprinkling in there, but it's still not going to match whatever's in the Razr Ultra. And then you got the really poor charging for what Samsung charges for the prices of their devices on the Z Flip 8 still. So while it feels like Samsung's coming out of it a little bit, we may get silicon carbon next year in some of these phones, not completely there on the Z Flip 8. Cameras, excellent on the Razr Ultra. Dual 50 megapixel cells. You don't get that over here, right? You get a 50 megapixel primary sensor, but you're still stuck with that older ultra wide. Here you get 50 megapixels on both, so you're not going to see that degradation in color and quality as you switch between the sensors. Then we get to the big one. The cover display. I could go over what I need to do on my Z Flip 8 to get all the apps that I want on the cover display. Here's what I have to do on my Motorola Razr. You ready? I boot it up. I pull it out of the box. I download my favorites. I add my accounts. I swipe left. Look, there's apps. Hit the little edit icon and go to town. Whatever I want. Let's pull up Instagram. Great. Let's going to scroll there. No problem. Hey, there's something I can't see because of the cameras. No problem. Hold it, goes around it, put it back, no issues. Great experience. And if I'm buying a clamshell foldable, the cover screen experience is crucial. Crucial to why I buy a phone. And Motorola has done it better consistently from the start. Samsung's caught up with the Z Flip 8. There's a lot more going on the cover display. And they've also gotten better with notifications. It's not a complete disaster. Just I don't have the orange dot. You got to change some stuff by default. I don't know why that's not the standard out of the box for people, but there are ways to kind of get this, and they have worked on customization for One UI 9, but I don't need any of that over here. I got everything I need customization-wise straight out of the box. It's easy to use. I can manage my tiles. I can do whatever I want. And that to me is what brings me to one of these phones. I want to use the cover display. I find reasons to use my cover display. Those Instagram scrolls that are normally 5 minutes, you can just kind of scratch that itch here. Instead of opening up the phone and unfolding it and spending 30 minutes scrolling. Discord, nice wide display, so 4 inches, so I could go ahead and type. I love what I get over here on the Razr Ultra and the complete package. While I understand there are reasons why you want to pick up a Z Flip 8, software support being the biggest one. You're not going to match, Motorola's not going to match what you get over here. And even if they did somehow match the years, which they won't, the experience, I don't know. I don't know when Motorola is going to give me my Android version upgrades, but you know what? On a clamshell foldable designed for more casual users, I don't care. It's also why I don't care that there's a Snapdragon 8 Elite in this device as opposed to a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. Because if you're editing 4K video on your clamshell foldable, then your life choices made a wrong turn somewhere down the line. You shouldn't be doing that. And that's not why you buy these devices. You buy them for style, you buy them for cameras, you buy them for battery life, and you buy them for that cover display. And Motorola checks every one of those boxes. And pricing, I get it, right? The base Z Flip 8 starts at $1,200. But guess what that gets you? 256 gigs of storage, 12 gigs of RAM. They don't even offer a 16 gig. Over here, yes, it starts at $1,500. Steep, absolutely, especially for keeping a lot of the specs the same this year. But 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. If you spec that out over here, which you can't even do, but if you give this 512 gigabytes of storage, you're at $1,400. So that gap gets a lot smaller in a hurry. And then you factor in trade-ins for either one. You get a Moto Watch, you get some Moto Buds over here. So I understand on paper, $1,200, $1,500 seems like a blowout, but it's really not price-wise. The gap isn't quite what you think it is. But I've said this for years, and it's true again this year. Look, you can even see them side by side. It's thicker than just even the Z Flip 7, and they've made that thinner. But this is the phone that I go back to most often because it has that style, just has a little bit of flair to it, and it gives me everything I want in a clamshell foldable. Motorola, and I've said this before, Motorola set out to build an excellent flip phone. Samsung set out to build a fantastic Galaxy phone that folds in half, and they absolutely is a difference in those philosophies. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious.